A Twist in Time, Chapter 11. Is it good to get back to the good stuff after having to sit through a rational fic? Naruto barged into Tasuna's kitchen the following morning with the rest of Team 7 eating breakfast. All heads spun in its direction. It turned out Naruto had also snuck out to train the previous night. It was the first time his team had seen him since. Orange jacket and pants were covered in dirt. His hair was a mess, and he looked extremely disheveled. You mean his hair was messier than usual? Where have you been? Kakashi asked nonchalantly. The way his eyebrow arched told Sakura he was concerned.
Guys, I don't know how to say this, but
Naruto sighed, and taking a very pronounced gulp, he anxiously ran a hand through his matted blonde hair. Everyone staring expectantly.
so I met the most attractive boy ever last night.
I'm so glad that I find fics where they remember that Haku is an actual boy and don't try to change him into a girl. That's so nice. Sakura's jaw nearly hit the table, and Sasuke turned away to spit out the tea he was sipping. Naruto, seemed totally oblivious to his teammates' reaction, carried on with the story.
Like, attractive,
He added breathlessly.
he was even prettier than Sakura-chan.
He plumped himself down next to the seat next to Sakura.
Am I ever confused now?
And then I comment, he sure wasn't the only confused one. Sakura shook her head and took a long sip of her Mako tea. See how Naruto had an encounter with a mask as Haku. Haku, an instant assassin who accompanied Zabuza, and feminine features that he frequently cross-dressed during his espionage missions. Kakashi set his own mug down. Well, not that this story doesn't sound interesting, he said while rising to his feet. I'm going to pack my bag for our mission today. He then stalked off, muttering something that sounded an awful lot like never ceases to amaze me under his breath. Then Naruto, who was oblivious to Sasuke and Sakura's dumbfounded expressions, begging for them to listen closely.
So, don't tell Kakashi-sensei, but I snuck out to train in the middle of the night.
He whispered in a mischievous grin. Sakura rolled her eyes. Everyone in the house was quite aware of Naruto's late-night escape after that dramatic entrance.
That's when I met the pretty guy, and man was I ever let down that I found out she was a he. I thought it was my lucky night, if you know what I mean, Sasuke?
He said, while nudging his said teammate aside, nearly causing him to spill his tea over himself. Watch it, dumbass, Sasuke said with a scowl, but his comment went unnoticed by the blonde.
What did you guys do last night, anyways?
Naruto, who was oblivious to Sasuke's death glare, asked Sakura.
Heard you both leave before me.
Sakura started, but Sasuke interrupted her. Nothing, he growled, putting his mic down, more force he probably intended. Then Sasuke snatched up his empty plate and stormed over to the sink without another word, leaving his half-full mug behind. Naruto let out a low whistle.
Jeez, what's got his panties in a knot?
He asked Sakura with wide eyes. She shrugged and focused fairly intently on the eggs he was eating. Sasuke was relatively avoidant of his teammates for the rest of the day. In the morning, they accompanied Tazuna as he worked away with his bridge crew. Sasuke claimed an area that was secluded from the other guardian posts. He barely spoke a word to others, even to Kakashi when he asked Sasuke for a status report. And last time, when Sakura had expressed that she was going to check on a makeshift hospital in the village, Sasuke immediately volunteered to spend lunch at the bridge. Kakashi complied, sent Naruto to their medical tent with Sakura instead.
He's gotta be so huge up his ass today,
Naruto said with a frown.
Normally he volunteers to go with the tent with you right away.
Sakura smiled weakly.
Yeah.
She was certain now something was bothering their dark-haired teammate. And the fact that his mood swing might be a product of their conversation the previous night angered Sakura a little. She was the one who disclosed deeply personal information. She was the one who possibly jeopardized their time travel by trusting him. So why the hell was he in such a bad mood? Because he might not be in love with him? Because he might not have had her wrapped around his little finger like he thought he did? Please. That selfish, possessive moron. It sounds like this that Sakura questioned how she managed to fall in love with him in the first place.
Attention, Sakura! You are protesting too much!
Naruto spent the next night training so late he nearly depleted all of his chakra, was physically incapable of waking up the following morning. Sakura was acutely aware that Sabusa could make a reappearance any day now, packed her weapon holster to the brim with weapons and medical ointments. She had also spent many hours contemplating persuading her team to avoid a battle with Sabusa altogether, because, after all, it had no apparent relevance to her time travel mission, and she knew she would barely make it out alive. Sakura opted to keep her mouth shut for 4 reasons. 1. Her teammates would give her hell for asking to back out. 2. She would arouse more suspicion in the mind of her ever-untrusting sensei as she tried to call the shots. 3. Sabusa and Haku arrived, they would complicate things in the long run. 4. She wanted Gato dead. But Sakura followed Kakashi, Sasuke, and Tazuna to the bridge that morning. She felt a hint of doubt, because things were different this time. One of her newfound reputation in the village swayed the course of the battle somehow. What Sasuke's unusual emotional state caused him to do something reckless? With a pang of guilt, Sakura remembered that it was Sasuke who barely escaped death last time to face off against Sabusa and Haku. She was marching her beloved teammate towards his defeat. This can't play out like last time. Sakura was realizing more than ever that traveling through time put her in a position of unfathomable power over the world around her. Tiny actions caused a ripple effect that would change the outcome of any situation, including whether Sasuke would get out of this alive. I'll need to stop Haku myself, and fast. If she didn't get to Haku in time, it would trap Sasuke and Naruto inside the crystallized mirror's jutsu, which would inevitably lead to Sasuke sacrificing himself for Naruto and nearly dying. Although Naruto would later tap into the Nine-Tails chakra and wreak havoc on the battlefield, Team 7 would lead the fight with far too many near-fatal casualties. If only Sakura could find a way to prevent Haku from using that jutsu and stall Sabusa for just a little while, Gato's army would eventually show and finish them off anyways. That being said, they couldn't kill Sabusa. They needed him still long enough to kill Gato and put an end to his tyranny over the Land of Lays. Because if any member of Team 7 killed Gato themselves, the act would be interpreted as Konoha warmongering. When the 4 of them arrived, Kakashi, Sasuke, Sakura, and Tazuna were greeted by the dead bodies of the bridge builder's crew scattered across the bridge. I want to take a moment here to say that this is another reason why I love this fic so much. Other time travel fics, or hell, anybody who does these, well, if you could go to the past, why don't you do this? Instantaneously does think, oh, I could kill this guy, or I could change this, and nothing will happen. It's all the better for it. You don't realize the ripples of the butterfly effect. This fic actually has Sakura go over what could possibly happen and how to change it. Kratos, Sakura's stomach gave an uncomfortable lurch, because apparently the showdown with Sabusa would take place today. Tazuna motioned to run towards the corpses of his closest friends. Kakashi held him back. Sabusa's here. He hissed as the black fog began to cloud their visions. He positioned himself in front of the bridge builder, and he stretched for Sasuke and Sakura to cover his back. Stay on guard. As you learned from our previous battle, Sabusa is trained in the art of silent killing. It won't hold back on any of us. He's here, all right. Sakura thought with a grimace. Equally as dense and disorienting as the fog, Sabusa's chakra was seemingly everywhere. Chilling Sakura to the bone. Bloodthirst was thick in the air. She couldn't stop the terror from welling up inside her. These enemies were, and had always been, so unreasonably far out of her league. But Sakura needed to stop Haku. She needed to get a hold of herself and have faith her team would pull through somehow. Quietly, she dug her fingertips into her weapon pouch to hook them around the handles of the 3 poison-laced kunai while pumping Sakura into the toes of her feet. A haunting voice resonated through the mist. Welcome back, Tazuna, Kakashi. Sabusa's deep voice echoed across the bridge. It resounded from all directions and rumbled through the ground beneath their feet. I see you brought the troublesome brats with you again. Sakura gripped her knives tightly, and sent Sasuke's body seized up behind her. Even the sharpest of eyes were nearly blinded in this fog. How can you do this, Kakashi? She heard Sabusa sneer. That boy is practically trembling with fear. Sakura cast a quick glance at her teammate who was visibly shaking. Sasuke? It was unnerving to see the proud Uchiha-clad survivor plunge into an emotional spiral. Sakura gritted her teeth. Then they were surrounded by 15 identical Zabuza replicas, water clones. Sasuke emitted a low growl. I'm not afraid. He bravely spit out. It's the opposite. I'm fired up for a rematch. Sakura smirked, but that didn't fail to cast a minuscule waver in her teammate's voice. He knows what we're up against. Sasuke's good, but against these guys. Patience. The clones hissed and used it before fancy tireless splashes of water. Kakashi, Tazuna, Sakura, and Sasuke all jumped in surprise as the cold liquid pooled around their feet. Where do you go? What's the next move? There's a minor disturbance. I must address first. That was when he struck. Sakura's brain didn't process the soreness in her abdomen until she coughed and tasted blood. She emitted a strangled scream when the second blow made contact with her head. She felt herself collapse to the pavement as white-hot pain pulsed through her entire body. Then she was beginning to stare into a pair of blood-red eyes. The bridge was on fire. Then everything went black. Buddy, you just made a big mistake. Oh no, not fine, Kakashi. You touched Sakura! Sakura's body roused before she opened her eyes. Her back was pressed against what felt like cool, wet concrete surface. Something soft was touching her forehead. The air was heavy. So were all the parts of her that weren't numb. She ventured to open her eyes a sliver. It was met with an onslaught of fierce pangs reverberating through her skull. Damn it! Sakura had an head injury of some sort. This wasn't good. When she tried again, there was something looming over her. And someone was an enemy. She was as good as dead being caught in a state like this. It was an enemy. It was Tazuna who was pressing a balled up hunk of fabric to her forehead, so that all she could see through the thick mist surrounding him. That's right. Mist! Sakura groaned. Where's Zabuza? She said, the words scratching dry and airy lying in her throat. Sakura! Said Tazuna, jumped to the sound of her voice. You're alive! Alive. Of course he was alive. Why would he ask that? Where are the others? She asked while using every bit of her strength to prop herself up into a sitting position. But goodness, did her body ever ache. Come to think of it, how did her dress get so bloody? Sakura, don't move. These are your sensei's orders. If you lose any more blood... Sakura promptly ignored him and motioned to rise to her feet. The world around her was spinning and out of focus. But that's just the mist, isn't it? Where are the others? She repeated with more firmness as she started to regain focus. Last thing she remembered was preparing to engage in battle with Zabuza and Haku. But where were they now? Was she too late? Sakura, Kakashi told me, I don't give a shit about his orders! Sakura yelled, frantically shaking her fury. It wasn't pain, she wasn't sure. Tell me now, where is Haku? Tazuna seemed to give up his attempt to keep her still and rose to her feet. He's dead, don't worry. He said, pressing the cough to the back of her forehead. Dead? Sakura's word echoed with a surge of horror. It was too late. Haku was dead. This meant Sasuke was already dying. Sakura's legs moved instinctively, propelling her blindly through the fog. Sakura, wait! Tazuna called, struggling to keep up with her. You're hit in the head and stomach. You don't continue to join the fight. No arms man wheezed. The riot cue, Sakura coughed, and more blood spilled from her mouth and splattered on the ground. She frowned. Zabuza's strikes must have done some damage to her body after all. I'll be fine, she said while pressing her hand to her stomach, feeling her medical chakra flicker to life in her palm. I'll heal myself enough to move for Sasuke's body. She caught Tazuna's look of bewilderment out of the corner of her eye as her legs carried her through the mist. Body? What do you mean? Pursuit Sasuke is still fighting with Zabuza with the others. Sakura stopped dead in her tracks. What? She asked, shockingly to her tone. What do you mean he's fighting? Tazuna's expression became extremely perplexed. Well, I mean, the fight with Haku probably took a lot out of him, but I don't think he'll lead the others to deal with Zabuza on their own. Oh, and Naruto got here just after Haku was defeated. Wait,
Naruto never fought Haku? Sakura's mind was racing. I don't understand, she said. Haku was supposed to kill Sasuke.
Sasuke shook his head. No, you haven't messed up, he said. Sasuke killed Haku.
Sakura wasn't sure how she was physically capable, but she was sprinting like a madman through the fog. Her head spinning to just about every inch of her body was throbbing with pain. But she needed to find her team. She needed answers. To see the outcome with her own eyes. As she ran, Tazza filled out any events she missed. Sabasa attacked her first, likely to cut off the team's supply of medical support, and everyone thought she was dead. Sasuke went berserk and made to launch his own attack on Sabasa, but Haku stepped in. From there, a battle between the young prodigies ensued. By the time Naruto showed up, Haku was already dead. Naoto Kakashi already taught Asuna to bring Sakura's body far away from the battle as possible. Tracking their chakra signatures, Sakura managed to locate her teammates a short while after. She and Tasuna looked on from about 50 meters away. And yes, just how she remembered it. There was Kakashi, engaged in close combat with Sabasa. But then, flash of orange. Naruto was there too this time. Barely the demon hunter with his Taiho clones. Tasuna was right about Naruto joining in on Kakashi's fight. And what about Haku? And what about... Oh! Sakura's heart leapt when she caught sight of her dark-haired teammate springing to the air, firing a handful of weapons at his enemy. He was alive! But Sakura couldn't help but notice he was moving rather slowly. His chakra levels were dangerously low, as he could hardly sense them. His lips were dotted with puncture wounds and bruises, and he was fighting from a much greater distance than the others. Sabasa himself appeared to be struggling. His arms were incapacitated by kunai, piercing just the right muscles in his biceps, rendering his monstrous sword unusable, which gave Team 7 a significant advantage. To the far right, a dark mass was piled on the ground. As Sakura squinted her eyes through the mist. Could that be Haku?
Alright, Naruto. Now!
Kakashi then shouted. Naruto's clone sprung into action by surrounding the demon, taking hold of his arms and letting his gear in place. Kakashi crouched low into a battle stance and pulled his hands together to form a seals for a jutsu. Within seconds, a familiar, ear-splitting chirping met Sakura's ears, and an electric blue light emerged in Kakashi's palm. It was a Chidori. Kakashi's signature lightning-style attack transformed his hand into an impenetrable blade of concentrated electricity. It quickly dawned on Sakura what this move implied. This would be the last blow, and Haku wasn't the line to get in the way this time. And Sabasa was about to die. Musume Gato will live. Stop! Sakura cried before she could restrain herself, ignoring Tasuna's shout of protest. She pushed past the bridge builder and raced towards the other with every ounce of strength she had left. Sasuke, who was crouched on his back facing her, was alert to her presence first. But Sakura couldn't afford to pay him any mind because he hadn't noticed her yet. He was still too far away. Chidori at full capacity, the chirping and crackling growing louder and louder, eyes trained at his target, and Kakashi started to move. Lightning blade already making its descent towards Sabasa's heart. Sakura's body acted on its own. She loaded her fist with all the chakra she could master. Thrusting to the bridge's surface, she could fully process her actions. She directed the force of her punch towards Kakashi. A trail of explosions shot out from her fist towards the bridge's surface, blasting the concrete to pieces. As planned, Kakashi was thrown off course and the ground beneath him started to crumble. Marcia streaked backwards and away from Sabasa. Naruto's clones disappeared, leaving behind only the real Naruto clinging to Sabasa's left arm. And Sasuke was thrown backwards onto the ground from the sheer force of Sakura's attack. All heads spotted her to right side, expressive of shock. Naruto was the first to speak. Sakura-chan, you're alive? Not for long. Seeing that Naruto had slackened his grip on Sabasa's arm, and combined with the absence of his clones, the demon broke free. For Sakura knew it, he was directly before her and aiming a chakra-enhanced kick at her newly healed abdomen. Shit! Sakura thought in horror. She didn't have time to defend herself. It was too fast and her body was too weak to move. Crossed her arms over her torso in a fruitless attempt to block his kick, squeezed her eyes shut, waiting for the impact. But it didn't come. Well, not the impact she was expecting, at least. Something slanted to Sakura. square in the chest with a force that nearly sent her collapsing backwards. A body. She steadied herself and gained her bearings, only to find a pair of shotgun glaring at her. No. Sasuke had taken the blow, the gun square in the back. What are you doing? He hissed through clenched teeth, and as quickly as they appeared, the red irises flickered and referred to the usual shade of black. Oh no, 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 no! Get the shotgun back! Get the shotgun back! Sakura took one proper look at her teammate's face, felt her stomach turn. Sasuke's skin was ghostly white, smeared with blood, and his eyes were glazed over with complete exhaustion. His chakra reserves were almost depleted. He stared when Sabasa spoke next. Haven't had enough yet, Uchiha. The demon growled, coiling his leg to strike again. A briefest trace of fear flashed at Sasuke's dark, bloodshot eyes. As he was defenseless, and with the right release of chakra, Sabasa was in prime position to kill him. No! Sakura's frozen as Sabasa lunged towards him with unstoppable speed, his dark chakra blazing. Sasuke ducked his head and squeezed his eyes shut, bracing himself for a fatal blow. When a sickening snap resounded, they were a vortex of red chakra. Sakura's head snapped up. She knew this chakra, and instinctively her body seized. Naruto was standing between Sasuke and Sabasa, gripping Sabasa's poised leg. The demon howled in pain as Naruto clawed his taloned hand even more tightly, as upon his broken calf. Then, with a mighty roar, Naruto launched Sabasa into the air. The demon collided into the rail of the bridge with a crash. Naruto! Sakura cried, trembling, taking a step in front of Sasuke, skipping his one teammate. Naruto turned in response to Sakura's voice, and eyes of the nine-tailed fox bored into hers. Hi, Kurama? Naruto made a low growl as Sakura's blood ran cold. She didn't have time to process her fear because Sabasa had reappeared, referring Naruto's focus back to his enemy. Kakashi also emerged from the mist, kunai in hand, lost himself in Sabasa. Naruto landed on all fours with a cloak of red chakra, preparing to pounce at the two ninjas before him. With a surge of panic, Sakura realized that in this state, he wanted to sandwich between Kakashi and Sabasa. She could feel the Nine-Tails' bloodlust radiating through the air. She's going to attack whoever crossed his path. Naruto, stop! She cried, extending her hand towards him. Naruto whirled, his fangs bare. Reluctantly, he slung his clawed hand to silence her. Everything went black for the second time. What's the verdict? She'll live. I expect you to be awake any day now. Thank you. If it wasn't for your hard work, we would have lost her. Well, we wouldn't be here without her. Saved her own life, really. Sakura kept her eyes open. 2 fingers were set in a small bed she was lying in. They were engulfed in whiteness. Her eyelids snapped apart. Wait, is that Sabasa's miss? But no, it wasn't. She was in what appeared to be a tiny hospital room, surrounded by tiny white curtains. Near the figures at the end of her bed. They weren't their enemies. Kakashi-sensei! She said weakly. Also, you sit up, only to realize she physically couldn't. Her body was drained of energy and covered in bandages. And her arm was hooked up to an IV. Kakashi turned to face her. Oh, you're up. He observed and approached the bedside. Nagi speaking to his bed. Sakura-sama, I'm glad to see you awake. I'll go and find the others, she said before vanishing through the white curtains. Where are the others? Sakura croaked, gazing up at her sensei once they were alone. She was feeling extremely lightheaded. Naruto and Sasuke were fine, Kakashi said, easing himself into the chair beside her bed. She nodded slowly. And Kata? Dead, Kakashi confirmed curtly. Sakura felt relief wash over her. After he hurt you, Naruto came back to his senses. But before we could make another move on Sabasa, Kato's army showed up. Sabasa killed him and he died of his own injuries shortly after. He pulled out Zoro's book and leaned back to the chair. The enemies are gone. Go to sleep. He added bluntly. This is exactly what I hoped would happen. Sakura eased herself back onto bed. Yes, she breathed, graciously taking up his offer.
When Sakura aroused again, she was feeling immensely better. Her back was propped up this time, and both the bandages and IV had been removed. She gazed around the small, empty room and realized that she must be in her own makeshift hospital. Where did he get the IVs from? And where did he get curtains? The place was getting quite sophisticated. That was when Sasuke walked into her room through a small slit into her curtains. His eyes immediately widened when they met hers. Sakura felt her stomach give a lurch. Looks like he really did make it out okay. For a fleeting moment, his expression relaxed. Then something snapped. In a heartbeat, Sasuke was towering over her. His hands balled and fists at Sakura, roaring to life. What the hell were you thinking? He spat. Sakura's back instinctually pressed to the hospital bed. As all memories resurfaced, she half expected to curl his fingers around. She opened her mouth to speak, but no words came out. The black markings of Sasuke's red irises were spinning wildly. Why did you interfere? Bradley growled. She opened her mouth again, but all she could muster up was, Your eyes. Sasuke blinked down at her for a moment before sighing heavily, dropping her in a chair at her bedside. He put his head in his hands. Yeah, I finally figured out how to use these. He mumbled without looking up. Sakura watched him, bristled with pride in spite of everything. Because of the abilities that came with the Uchiha clan's red-bearded Sargon were formidable. Those eyes would allow Sasuke to visualize opponent's attacks before they happened, and craft unmatched jutsus, genjutsus. Sakura also knew that Sargon tended to surface in his users when he was experiencing intense distress, which meant right now. She bit her lip. I'm sorry. I understand that what I did on the bridge was reckless. I didn't mean. Sasuke cut her apology short. You don't understand what it means if you died, he said quietly in his hands. Sakura blanched. What? She said slowly, in her hair like the crest of a monstrous ocean wave. She died. The time travel mission was over. Tsunade specifically told Sakura that she needed to stay alive till 3 days before her 18th birthday, or else the world would revert to its former state, a state of chaos and destruction. A world where Sasuke wasn't saved, and Orochimaru was at large, and the fate of the Leaf Village was annihilation. What the hell was she thinking? Tears were in the corners of her eyes, and before Sakura could get a hold of herself, she let out a tiny sob. Sakura's head jerked up with surprise. Wait, stop, he said, turning around and stared to face her. But she couldn't stop. The tears were spilling from her all over her eyelids and trickling down her cheeks. Stop crying, Sasuke ordered again, traces of panic appearing in his voice. He wasn't particularly good at comforting people. The sight of his teammates' tears seemed to offset him. He hastily dragged the back of his index finger over her cheek to wipe off a tear. You're fine. It's fine. You're alive. Sakura opened her mouth to choke out some words of resistance. But that was when Naruto burst into the curtains. Naruto, you vomit runner! Sakura-chan! He wailed and be like for a bed. I'm so sorry. The next thing she knew, Naruto's arms were wrapped around her shoulders and he was crushing her into the bed. I'm so sorry. Get off, dumbass. Sasuke snapped. She can't breathe. Oh, right. Naruto stammered through the enormous sobs before releasing her. It was crying even harder than Sakura was. It's alright, Naruto, she said, smiling up at him as well as she could. It wasn't your fault. And she knew it wasn't. Naruto had injured her countless of times in the Night Vale fox form. She was used to it. I'm sorry, he said again, gripping her hand so tightly it hurt. So many things happened. I just need to tell you guys something. Sasuke and Sakura looked up. What is it? Naruto took a deep breath. What he said next made Sakura forget the pain in her hand entirely. Haku lived. I don't know whether to be extremely happy about that or worried.